Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and start with the S&P and then the Nasdaq. With the S&P on the weekly chart here, we're looking from wave 4 to wave 5 here. We're looking for 5 waves within this particular move. If we look to the daily chart, this will be the 5 waves expanded out somewhat. So we're looking at wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're heading up into wave 1 here. And if we break that down into the intraday, that intermediate wave 1, this is it here, and we've been working through this for a while. So wave 4 down here, and we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're nearly to the top here. Now, I also want to point out that if I've made a mistake, the mistake would be that this wave 4 here is not in play, and it would be this wave 4. That would be the error that I would be making, okay? But I won't know that until we get to the top. And if I see a corrective pattern coming down here, then I will understand what's going on at that point. Now, with all our trades, we'll be taking profit. In this 5-wave structure here, we'll be taking our profits quite close to the top there. So that's where we are. Then we'll have an ABC pattern that can pull back 50-60%. It could also be shallower as well, and like I said, we'll also need to figure out if I've made a mistake with this wave 4 rather than this wave 4. There is a case for that, but we'll just something we'll have to work through. As I mentioned late last week, we would be moving into what you see in the market here is not what you get next. You always get the opposite of what you're looking at. So we'll see moves continue to the upside this week. Let's just move in here and get a grip on this. A picture says 1,000 words. So so from wave 3 here, an ABC for wave 4, and then we'll be going up here. So you got your bearings here of 1 from 4 here to 5 up here. We're looking for 5 waves. So wave 1 here, ABC for 2, and then 3, 4, 5. And between 2 and 3 here, we'll also be looking for 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pay no attention to the dates or the price points over here. It's just something that we'll need to work through as we go. But in a nutshell, we've got basically wave 1 in here. So wave 3 should be a bit longer. Then wave 4 and wave 5 here. Wave 4 can come back to the wave 4 of one lesser degree, and wave 5 could be up here. So now this whole structure may stretch up, it might shrink. There's all sorts of things that can happen with it. We could put in some Fibonacci ratios and all the rest of it, and they may hit on spot on, or they could be horribly wrong. So I think it's a bit of a grey area sometimes when you're using those sorts of things. So it's much better just to track the actual wave structure. So that's the pattern that we're looking for generally in the markets. And then this is the Nasdaq here. So if I just come back with the S&P here, this wave 3 and 4 here, and 1, 2, yada 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 up to here, that will be the same with the Nasdaq as well. Wave 3 here with an ABC for wave 4, 1 and ABC for 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and pushing up. So in a nutshell, we've got the momentum of Friday there, so we should be able just to buy new highs if you like and get up there a little bit a little bit further. So we won't be taking any new positions in stocks. This is just sort of, day trading, if that's the word, swing trading, whatever you want to call it, getting from A to B basically, and this is where you want to get to, close to this number. Anywhere close to this top here will be fine. But that's it really there. So up for this leg here on the Nasdaq. So then we come over to the stocks, and we can tie most of the stocks, not all stocks, Tesla's a little bit different, but we still tie it into this particular count as well on an intraday basis. So we're looking from wave 4 here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Once this gets up here, we've got this as wave 1 up here and wave 2 here. There's been a bit of sort of shouting about that, but I'm not bothered too much about that. But what will happen though is that there will be media about the collapse of the markets and the elections, because that's when it will probably come in the November there. think it's, anyway, yeah, we'll see how it travels anyway. But that's the pattern there. So anyway, up to number one here for Apple. So let's just move into this, we'll just go right into the 1000 area here, and that's the wave 4 here. And we've been looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4. And once again, we're just going up here, 3 and 4 here, and 1 and 2 in here, and there'll be a little 1 and 2 in here going up for 3, 4, 5 up here. Like I said, I don't know how far this will pull back here. I did notice a little gap on the S&P in here somewhere, so that could be something worth having a look at. We can check the futures market for those sorts of things. But yeah, we'll be taking profit. So this is the top of minor group 1 here. So anywhere from this number to number 3 up here, so the 233 would probably, be about it. I mean, obviously you can go higher, 34, 35 and all the rest of it, but we'll just see how it moves. Let's just have a look at this from 1000 ticks to 100 ticks here, just looking at it in a bit more detail. So from wave 3 here, ABC for wave 4, and then wave 1, nice ABC for 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. That seems okay, and it'll push up there, so you could probably go long on these as well here if you wanted to just get up to here somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a big deal, but if you're sitting there looking at the screen, you might be paying yourself. So that's that. This is Amazon here on the daily chart. So once again, we've got 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So yeah, I think we've still got still it looks okay. So let's just go to the 1000 tick area here. We've got a few positions in here as well. Let me just, yeah, this was a little bit weird. I need to talk about this a bit. But in this sort of bigger picture here for this here, we've got, I have moved this from here to here and back and forth and looking at it, but I'll just sort of tie it into this here. Like most of the other markets, if you don't mind me saying, is this was the low here, but we've got, in terms of timing, it was this one here, but it's kind of left me with a little awkward position here. It's left me with a situation that we can get more downside from this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to protect what we have here, and I'm going to put that stop under here for that, right? So we can protect these positions here. And then if this goes, if this does move up here, then we'll look at that. But I just want to go in here and just talk about this a little bit, if you don't mind. That's 100 ticks here. So look, I haven't got it labeled, but what I haven't figured out yet is I can see there's 5 waves here. So we've got an A and a B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. But the thing is I've got this move here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got this sort of A wave, B, like a B wave here now as a 5, 3, 5 structure. Or maybe I could use that there, that little tiny one there. 1, 2, 3, really pushing the envelope there. But I got an impulse wave here as well. So anyway, we're going to put the stop here, but it kind of like, it might do something like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here, up to the 50-60% or something, and then come down at that point. I don't know, it's just weird that that's there. That's sort of like bugging me a little bit, So we'll move the stop to here, and once that's in play here, you could probably move it there anyway, but we don't want to get spiked on the open. Once that moves up here a little bit, we'll bring the stop up to here, and we'll bring it up until we get stopped out. So we'll just have to work that a little bit. Something's not right well in paradise there on that one, so we'll just put that to the side. We're over to NVIDIA now. So with NVIDIA here on the daily chart, we've got this nice A, B and C correction here, and we're going up for wave 1 here, and we've got this 1, 2 here and 3, 4, 5 here. See, this is why, because it hasn't taken out the top here. It's got 5 waves here, so that means we must get this 3, 4, 5 up here for, so that's why, because there's some markets that the wave 1 can take out the top there, and that leaves us 5 waves, so a lot of people will be putting wave 5 there. but that's not the case. I don't believe anyway. But we all make mistakes, so yeah, just make, I mean, it's really all comes down to making money, isn't it? Managing the trade and looking for setups that you can depend on. I know what my edge is. That's the trading levels and finding patterns around those levels. These particular patterns here that I've got. Very simple. It's just sort of support and resistance, but it's just breaking it down with a little bit of science to it and so on. So this is where I get out. This is where I get in. This is where I put my stop. And because I know the trading levels at different degrees, I know where to put the stop and targets. So yeah. So in this case here, we're looking for 5 waves up. So let's just go straight to the intraday here. I think the 1,000 will do the trick. So we've got this is the top of minor group 1 here, the 130 of 100 here. So 1, 2, and 3 that make up minor group 1, and we're just really looking for 5 waves up here. So we've got wave 3 and 4 here, and we could put this in here as wave 1 and 2 there, and we could just plonk wave, whoops, the daisy, it's on caps, so I'll just have to do that. This one here is on caps, so I'll just redo that. But basically you can see what we're doing, 1 and 2 here, and there'll be another little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going in here. So we want to be up here taking money. Now where that goes up here, how far that goes, your job really is to, the third wave, once it's completed, will be obvious because it'd be longer than wave 1, and then you'll have wave 5. And if wave 1 is longer than wave 5, if this wave 3 here rather is longer than wave 1, then wave 1 and wave 5 here will be sort of roughly the same size. So, and then you look over to the biggest, closest, largest number. So coming up from say 30 to 40 here, the 10 in here, we just use the Fibonacci numbers. So it'll be 31, 32, and 33, which will be group 1, and then 5 is the midpoint, and then we've got 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. When we talk about 8, we talk about group 2 in here. So you kind of get to know those numbers a little bit, and after a while you see, orders building up in the market depth at those numbers. But 5 is the second strongest number. So going up here, at first glance, that would be the number that you're looking at. But in the first instance, you'll be looking for support not only just on the 30 here, but also 33 here, because this is minor group 1 and 33 would be subgroup 1. So if you get a tested support there, you're going to get to the 5 at that point. Anyway, we'll track it up and we'll nut it out once we get there. But that will be that. We can have a closer look at this. I think I may have updated it. Oh yeah. So wave 3 and 4, 1 and 2. 2 A, B, and C here, and then 1 and 2, and little 1 and 2. So yeah, so this is group 2 here, and top of minor group 1 at 130, and then 1, 2, and 3 make up subgroup 1. And this is, yeah, anyway, I won't go into all the trading level stuff, I'll bore you to death. So meta platforms here. So once again as well, this is a little bit rickety and slow, and this one here was leading, and then it just sort of like fell into a pile of poop. And we've got wave 4 here, and we're looking for wave 5 to move up here. So we'll be looking to take profit at 550, but we may need to adjust that because it's really, the damn thing's rolling over here in that sense. I'll just go in and have a closer look at this here at 100. So we do have a nice A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the C wave here. The impulse wave looks okay. I mean, this is 530, so this is all, wherever you see a number 3, it's going to be group 1, and you would never go long under a level like this. You have to go long above that. Once you got the first high above the level, then you can go long at that point. Now, technically, it's an A and a B and a C, and we should be fine at that point, and it can build up through here. So even though that this is here, we don't have a very good 5-wave structure here yet, so that's why we use the level here. So, but I would not go long in this stock because it's just not moving at all. So because we don't have enough, all the other markets have pushed up, so this should push up. It shouldn't be a problem, but I'm just saying this is the weak spot because even though we've got this as an ABC and the other markets are the same and it should push up, it's got some sort of little move there. It hasn't really proved itself yet. Getting support there will prove itself, so just be a bit careful about that. But I wouldn't go, even though we can expect this to go up higher here, it's not the best trade on the block. Okay, so Netflix, so it's just a daily chart here. Once again, 5 waves up here. It's taken out the previous top here. Some haven't, some have. And let's just go to 1000 here and have a look at this. It's a little bit tricky to see in here. So we're looking for one more little move up here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So we've taken part profit here, and we'll just, as soon as we get a new high here, probably the numbers here, the 700, well, we've got this old high over here, that's obviously part of it, and it's all gravitating around the 700. To the next numbers up here, it'll be 10, 20, and 30, but I've got a bit of a love affair with 72, so that 720 there could be a really good target, but you don't need to get to that number. So the 18 would be fine at that point. So 718 at that point. But we'll just go in and have a look at this on 100 ticks because it's a bit hard to see that structure. So breaking it down a little bit as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, and then going up for wave 5. Now the other markets are going up for wave 5, so that should just move up there, but we've got positions in this. We don't need to add to this, and adding into this wave 4 is not such a good idea. This one here took 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 days, so we could look at this being 3 days as well, roughly speaking. I'm not that satisfied with this little move in here. I'll just go into 10 ticks where we've been tracking it a little bit. And I can figure out that we've got 5 waves to here, and then an A and a B and a C wave to here. But it feels like I've got 1 wave short, but at the same time, this particular, is overlapping here now. So it's probably 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 here, and then 4 and 5 here. So you could go long above the top here, and you could put a stop here if you're looking to trade. But yeah, it's just not, it hasn't finished off nicely, you know what I mean? I could get it down as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, yeah, it just doesn't, whichever way I look at it, it's got issues. So yeah, just got to be a little bit careful about that. Look, but it's probably, it's probably in, but I just can't prove it. Do you know what I mean? So, bit like Facebook, really, but probably a little bit worse. But at the same time, probably a little bit safer. So this is Google here, and hasn't really lifted off the bottom because when we looked at Netflix has taken out the top here, So it's way up here. But at the same time, even though that this is all, very, well, it's not a very healthy looking wave structure at all here, I still need to tie it into the rest of the market. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up for 5 here with the rest of the markets. Okay, so I've lifted this stop up into this point here. We're going to take profit above this high here. And yeah, we'll see where it is in a couple of days, and we'll get out in the 5th of the 5th here, or the top of the 3rd here. In between 4 and 5 here, there'll be 5 waves, so we'll get out in the top of the 3rd or the 4th here, or the 5th, somewhere in there. Yeah, but that's it really. So it's pretty ugly, but I've got to, my best bet basically is tying it into the rest of the market. So that's what I'm going to do, and because it is moving with the rest of the market on an intraday basis, it's just that it's certainly not the best one. But in a way, when you think about it, it's got a lot of catching up to do. So like taking out this top here. So even though it's looking really bad, there's going to come a point where it really, powers off. So that can be in the third wave. So when we get wave 1 here and 2 here, and then we get another one in here, another wave 1 and 2 in here, and so on. The third of the third here, that may really catch up quite strong. So we'll probably look to do some building into all of this area here to capture this, because I know that it needs to catch up. It's simple as that. And doesn't have to be, the good news could be quite flimsy, but it'll still be good enough. I don't need to look into the 100 tick on that. And this is Microsoft, so the same thing again as well, the wave 4 here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here now, and going up for wave 5 here. So we've got a few positions in here. I'll just leave the stop under the 410 here for a moment, because it's not that healthy with a little push up here. Let's just have a look at this little area here in terms of 100 ticks. So we do have a nice A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the C wave, and it is starting to move up here nicely. I mean, this is a trade setup for me here if I was trading it, but I'm not. I've got this as resistance, and then it's got the first high above the levels, come back and checked it as support. So technically, to me, this would be the long trade here. And so that would be it on that 15 here. It's nothing special really, because we just want to get to the 430 up here. That's where that will be. But anyway, it's just, you can see how it's weaved itself, onto support here. That's the important point here. And basically that pattern that's sitting here is this pattern here. So this is the second most common pattern, where it doesn't drop back below the level. So it's just sort of like walking upstairs. Okay, so enough waffling. So over to Tesla, and we're tying it into the same pattern as well. So we've got 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, moving the stop to here, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 up here. So you don't have to take profit here, because we've got 5 waves here now. If you want to hold the heat because you've got stock and not leverage, then don't hold leverage through a wave 2 like this. But if you've got stock, you could just hold through all that. If it's, if you have if you're part of the cult, whatever. So, But because we've got that 5 waves in the market, all the pullbacks will be opportunities, So, but we're just really swing trading here, so we don't really need to hold on to all of that. But we can have trades that do that as well. It's not a big deal. But this will be, wave 2s are normally swift and sharp most of the time, not all the time. And, they can pull back, 61.8%. In fact, they can pull back to this low here within 1 point. So if we take this up here somewhere, the 50-60% for this that's the 50% here. It doesn't have to pull this far down. It could be, it might only pull 20% down. It might just pull back down to this area here, the 210. Might just be to 215. It might just be in here somewhere. We don't know that until we go through it. Expect the worst and hope for the best, and that's it. But in the meantime, we've just got this building up here in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. The old high's obviously going to see some emotional baggage there, and then we've got wave 4 created by that, and then we'll have this here. So that's where we are, folks. And then we come over to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will be much the same. So we're looking at wave 4 here, and then we're looking at wave 1 up here, and 2 and 3, 4, 5 up that way. Obviously, we're at the medium level here now, which is the balance point for this whole correction through here. And so you can tie pretty much most of the markets into this here. And I'm also looking at this here as wave 1 here. and wave 2 here. It's a little bit sort of slow on the uptake here because I don't really see wave 3 in here, but I do want to talk about this a little bit. It doesn't have to move tit for tat, but don't, this low here on the 5th of August was the low. If I just take Tesla here for a moment, it was that low here on the 5th of August. So all the stocks, all the tech stocks had lows on the 5th of August, thereabouts, So it is part of, Bitcoin is part of that scene. Let's just go to, I think we're on 5K tick here to pick that up on the low here. So we're looking at from this low here, we're looking at wave 1 here and 2 here, and then building this up here. So I don't really have 3, 4, 5 up here yet. But it was kind of interesting really, because when I look at the other, if I look at total here, this is total 3. So this is excluding BTC and ETH here. And it's a little bit hard to see, but I've got wave 3, 4, 5 in here already on this. If I take this from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, so you can kind of get a visual on this. A bit hard to see, but basically, once again, from the 5th of the August here, whatever, we've got wave 1 up here, and then back for wave 2. And this all counts really nicely in here for 5 waves up for 1 and ABC for 2 here. Right, and then all the way up here I've already got 3. I can tie 3 and 4 in here already, and this will be tied into the same, to the Nasdaq and so on. So we'll be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for this. Just change this over to here, and that's minute, degree, and don't need that on the daily. So yeah, so we're looking for 5 waves up in here, and then that will be the top there. But so I've got this, the crypto market itself can line up with the Nasdaq here, and yeah, so if I take this back here and look at this at 15 minutes again here, I have gone through it, because from this wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, a bit of overlap, but it's okay. Then we've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 1 here, and then we've got 5 waves up for 1 here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd, 4th. Doesn't look that crash hot. I could do that differently. And then 5 for the 3rd, the 4th, and 5th. So I can get wave 3 here, just the same as we're looking at stock. So I've got this count here that's like spot on with the Nasdaq and those tech stocks, and then I've got Bitcoin here that's lagging here. So I've got 2 things there, so I need to get that sorted a little bit, but I'm not that fussed, everything's going pretty much according to plan here with this. So but yeah, interesting. So basically on that crypto market there, I could put this wave 3 over here for this, but it doesn't look quite good at this point. Anyway, further upside anyway for the time being. I'll sort the rest of it out later. Alrighty, apologies for such a long video, but I think we got through everything that we needed to get through. It's all pretty clean and tidy, the wave count, so not a problem anywhere. So enjoy the week ahead. Cheers.